What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are back with another episode of Mod Review. Today we are going to be covering an awesome mod of Moff Gideon from The Mandalorian, replacing either Count Dooku or Captain Phasma depending on which you prefer to use. This mod was uploaded by CNDModWorks over on the Nexus mod site, but it mentions that there were a heap of people that helped work on it, with those listed being Mank Demery, Daz Assassin 100, Omni Miraki, Beep Boop, Tortuga, Tackle, and Cubic Titan. And just so I don't have to refer to all of their names throughout, I will just go by CNDModWorks moving forward, but I wanted to make sure to credit all of those guys for their work on the mod, as it was definitely a team effort. Now, as always in these mod reviews, I'm going to be going through 5 different sections, with those being detail, functionality, additional mods if there are any, then I'll give my score for the review as a whole, and then lastly, if it is applicable, I'll touch on any improvements or additions that would be great to see as well. But anyway guys, with that out of the way, let's get stuck right into this review. When it comes to the detail of this mod, it might actually be one of the more high quality mods that I've seen so far when it comes to the facial model of the character, as I thought these guys did a really awesome job in making Gideon look really similar to how he looks in real life. I'm sure we all know by now that facial models are never an easy thing to get right. Even the developers of the game itself can never really get facial features 100% correct, as we saw with Anakin when he launched, and even characters like Han, Leia, Luke and Rey before they all ended up getting model changes. And so the fact that these guys have done so well with the mod is definitely something worth mentioning. Something else that was really well done in my opinion was the way that these guys did the star card images using Mandalorian screenshots rather than in-game screenshots, which I thought would look a little bit out of place, but honestly they actually look really well done. Most mods like this that are essentially a skin replacement do also include star card images as well, but obviously the captures are mostly taken in-game, and so I thought that was a nice change of pace to have some more sort of realistic images used in these star cards. Now, like I said, this mod does actually allow you to choose between replacing Dooku or Phasma, with the Dooku replacement using the Darksaber as his main weapon obviously, and then the Phasma one giving him a blaster, but it does actually still have the Darksaber in this one as well, replacing Phasma's staff with the Darksaber instead, which was another really awesome touch. And it's great that you kind of get the best of both worlds when you replace Phasma, as you can pretty much use the blaster and the saber with the same character, which is pretty rare even with mods. The Phasma replacement does also include voice lines as well, which are taken from The Mandalorian, and usually when voice lines are taken from shows or movies, they do sound a little bit odd because there's generally music in the background or it just isn't really high quality. But all of Gideon's voice lines sound great, and they seem to match the actual emote animation as well, as you can see with the weapon inspection emote.
You have something I want.
Obviously his mouth doesn't move, so it does look a little bit funny, but since Phasma has a helmet on, I imagine that's just to do with the fact that she doesn't have any mouth animations, so it is pretty easy to forgive that since it's not really any fault of the modders. Overall, the detail of this mod is really great in my opinion. Like I said, I think he looks really good considering how hard it is to get facial features right, as well as the fact that Gideon does have a very specific and sort of recognisable face, and so the mod definitely gets top marks in that regard. When it comes to the functionality, as in how well the mod works, whether there are any issues or anything like that, there was really only one issue that I could find in the couple of hours worth of playtime that I had with it. Unfortunately, Gideon's voice lines and emotes didn't seem to work with the Dooku replacement, only with the Phasma replacement, and so it would have been awesome to see Dooku's animations with Gideon's voice lines, as honestly the two characters do have a pretty similar style and personality now that I think of it, both being sort of like regal, exalted characters within Star Wars. Overall though, despite that very small issue with the voice lines, the mod functioned exactly as it needed to, and so it definitely doesn't lose any points there. Now, as far as additional mods go, there weren't any that I could find that added to the focus mod, and so it is finally time to give a score for this mod. The detail of this mod, like I mentioned at the start of the video, is definitely up there with the best in terms of how detailed and accurate Gideon looks compared to his real life counterpart, and the fact that there are also 2 choices for who you replace in the game does also earn it some good brownie points as well, as initially I thought I'd really only enjoy the Dooku replacement, but honestly the Phasma replacement was arguably as good if not better because of the voice lines. In terms of the functionality, like I said, there honestly wasn't anything that I could find wrong with the mod. The voice line issue is hardly a problem since it does work in the Phasma version anyway, and as of recording this, the mod is literally 2 days old, so I'm not sure if this may have been fixed by the time you guys are watching, and so overall I thought the functionality was pretty much exactly as expected. I'm giving the Mandalorian Moff Gideon mod uploaded by CNDModWorks an overall score of 4.1 out of 5. The amount of detail in the model really stood out to me, even just from the thumbnail on the Nexus site, let alone from actual actually playing it, and the fact that it is multiplayer safe between 2 different replacement characters is definitely a very awesome feature as well. There is obviously so much subjectivity involved in scoring these mods, so let me know down in the comments what you guys would rate the mod overall. Obviously it's a little bit harder without having played it yourself, but from what you've seen in the video, let me know down in the comments what you guys would give this mod out of 5. Now lastly, moving on to some quick improvements I'd love to see, and to be honest I don't really know if there are any improvements that could be made other than maybe just fixing up those voice lines for Dooku. I do also think that since there's already 2 versions, it would be pretty awesome to see a 3rd version that actually isn't multiplayer safe, where all of his abilities are more in line with his own character, as obviously seeing him use Force Lightning does look a little bit odd. So it would be awesome to see a sort of purely offline version that's a little bit more immersive, but I think the way they currently have it is definitely more than enough already. Let me know down in the comments what you guys can think of when it comes to some possible changes or additions. I'm definitely keen to hear what you guys have to say, as I know there's probably plenty of cool ideas I didn't think of. That is going to do it for this one though, guys. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new, then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.
Crush them! Make them suffer!